Hello, in this tutorial we'll be creating two different timers, one that counts up and one that counts down. So firstly let's go to the hierarchy, right click, go to UI and then go to text, and then let's name this timer text. Next, on our canvas game object, let's set the UI scale mode to scale with screen size, and then let's scale up and position our text. Then let's right click, go to create C# script and name this timer. Then let's double click it to open it up in Visual Studio for editing. In Visual Studio, let's firstly type using Unity engine.ui to import the UI namespace, and then let's create a text called timer text, and let's also create a float called current time to keep track of the time elapsed. Then in start, let's type timer text equals get component text to get the text component from the game object, and then in update, let's type current time plus equals time dot delta time. So this will add on the time elapsed since the previous frame onto our current time. And then let's display the time to our text, so let's write timer text dot text equals current time dot toString, and then in brackets and the speech marks 0. So here we are converting our current time float to a string with no decimal places, and then setting this to the timer text. Back in Unity, let's drag our timer script onto our timer text, and then when we hit play, we can see our timer counting upwards. Next, let's create a timer that counts downwards instead. So to do this, let's duplicate our timer text, rename this to countdown timer, remove the timer script we just created, and then move this to the side. Then let's create a script called countdown timer. The code for our countdown timer is very similar to our previous timer script, so let's come here, copy the code, copy this over to the countdown timer class, add the using Unity engine.ui namespace, and then let's create another float called max time. So this will be the time our countdown timer will start counting from, and then in front of it let's add serialized field so this shows in the inspector. Then in start, let's set the current time to the max time, and then in update, instead of adding to the time, we subtract from it. Finally, let's surround this code in an if statement. So if current time is greater than 0, so this will stop our countdown going past 0. Back in Unity, let's drag our countdown script into our countdown timer, then set the max time to 10. Then when we hit play, we can see that our second timer counts down from 10, and then stops once it reaches 0 seconds. And with that, we now have two timers. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next.